everyone, it's Courtney from HowCourtneySeesIt. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today to do my mid-year freak out. So like the title suggests, this is kind of a mid-year look at all of the books that I've read, and it is a tag, so we're gonna go through it. I am not sure the original creator of this, so I will try to find it and link it. Link them. So here we go. I'm not sure the original creator of this, so I will try to find it, and then if I can, I will link them in the description box also. But really quick, before I jump into this video, I do want to publicly here via my channel let everyone know I do have some links and resources in my description box right at the top to help support the Black Lives Matter movement. There are petitions to sign and more resources and information, and then there is also a link to a Twitter thread that has a playlist of videos that the creators are actually downloading all of the AdSense money to the Black Lives Matter movement and like into the bail funds and all that kind of stuff. So if there's anything that you feel like I've missed and I should have in my bio, or if there's something, a resource that you found and you're like, wow, this was really helpful for me as, you know, a very Caucasian ally, let me know in the comments or message me. I would love to obviously inform more people on any good resources. So we are going to jump into this tag really quick and start going. Wow, the waste management truck is going by. Okay. Well, are you trying to say I'm trash, sir? Because I already know. So, all right, really quick before we jump straight into the questions, my Goodreads challenge. Here we go. I have read 49 books out of 80 is my goal, which is actually kind of crazy. But I know that now that we are working 6 days a week and my job is open again, I will not be reading as much as I have been. So I anticipate my June wrap up to be less and for them to steadily kind of decline except for ebooks and audiobooks. Anyway, we're gonna jump into this video. So the first prompt is the best book you've read so far in 2020, and honestly, I feel like you guys already know what I'm gonna say, but it is The House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City #1 by Sarah J. Maas, and I have an entire reading reaction vlog dedicated to this, so I'm just gonna, I will just link it. I'll just link it. That's what we're gonna do. And for anyone's information, if you guys don't kind of follow my bullet journal, I do keep track of all the books I read in 2020, but I did check my Goodreads also, and then I do have like a best book bracket that I was supposed to be finishing, so any 5-star books, and then they were supposed to like battle it out, but I know that one's the winner of all of these books listed, so we're going with it. Okay. The best sequel that you've read this year, and technically it's not a sequel, it's like the third installment, but I'm counting it, Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. It's the last book of the Folk of the Air trilogy. Was my favorite. Okay. And then the next prompt is a new release that you haven't read yet, but you want to, and that 1,000,000% is Chain of Gold, holy crap, by Cassandra Clare. I have this on request from the library, but obviously with the COVID virus and everything, the library was physically shut down, so I'm waiting for it to pop up on, like, through the library apps as an audiobook or an ebook to read that way, but I'm just kind of waiting. So one day I will get to read it. And honestly, I don't know a ton about that book, but a lot of booktubers that I follow were really hyped up about it, and it looked really cool. The cover spoke to me, and I haven't read anything from Cassandra Clare, and I would really like to. So I feel like that's a good place to start. Moving on. The most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and for me, this is a author I actually found on TikTok. Yes. And the book is called Set Fire to the Gods is by Sarah. Her last name is Rosh, I believe that's how you say it. And it's coming out August 4th. So I will link the how to pre-order her book. I'm super excited about it. I pre-ordered it today. And it's like, hold on, where's my phone? Because I screenshotted a summary so I could read it. But I lost my phone. Well, so what I remember from the summary, how about we'll just do that because I don't know where my phone is it is a combination of Avatar: The Last Airbender and like Gladiators and everything she's kind of talked about via her TikToks and like on Twitter. It just makes me really hyped up and I wanna read it. It just sounds really, really cool. So I'm interested in it. I'm hyped. Pre-ordered. Like I said, link will be in the description box. It's not an affiliate link. I'm just really hyped up about it. So if you want to be hyped too, there's the link. And then the next prompt is the biggest disappointment of 2020. And first, I feel like I just talked about this in my wrap up, but Serpent and Dove, because I went into this book was so hyped up. Everyone was like, oh my God. And like, even if you're on like Book Talk or if you're on TikTok and you follow any book people, they're always like, oh, it's so spicy. Ooh. And that it's really like, just really, really awesome. And I just really didn't vibe with it. I don't know. I wish it had been written adult instead of YA, because if it had been adult and there had been more actual, I don't know. I just feel like it needed more sex and it didn't have it and it upset me. I don't know. Who am I? Horny? I don't know. Moving on. The other book that was on my top of my disappointment list was Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell, which made me actually really, really, really sad because I loved Carry On. It was so good. It was like my top book of 2019. And I bought this at Barnes & Noble because, first of all, the cover is beautiful. And I bought it and I read it so fast because I was so excited, and I got like halfway through it and I was just like, what is that? Like, what is this? So, yeah, but I'm gonna not unhaul it because I really just like looking at it, to be honest. Okay, moving on. So the next prompt is the biggest surprise, and for me that was Daisy Jones and the Six, which is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I thought I was going to absolutely hate this book. This book follows a Daisy Jones, a musician, and then the Six, which is a group, a musical group, and then they kind of join forces and become a cohesive group. And it follows their journey to fame and their kind of like fall from fame. And it's written in a bazillion point of views. And it just talks about, so like it's like a big interview. And honestly, when people were describing it in wrap-ups and vlogs and everything, I was like, oh my God, that sounds terrible. But everyone kept talking about it, how it was so good and blah, blah, blah. So I borrowed it from the library and I actually really, really liked it. Biggest surprise, because it sounded like something I would detest, but I read it for a reading challenge. I can't remember which one, to be honest. So moving on. My favorite new author, debut or new to you, and this is Carly Phillips. And honestly, she wrote Faking It, which I can put up a photo of the cover. This, I think it was an ebook or an audiobook. I don't remember, but I downloaded it from like the library app, and I was just like, oh, this looks cute. It's like a fake fiance, like a fake dating relationship. Like, it's a fake dating trope. It's like, you know, it's a romance. Sorry, I'm like stuttering. But I was like, you know, fluffy. There's probably going to be some sex scenes in it. Like, it's nothing that's going to cause my brain to like malfunction. And I loved it so much that now like half of my request list is stuff from her, or like half of my favorited list or starred list is stuff that she's written, because I just really liked her writing style. It was super easy to follow. It was very normal. There wasn't a ton of like, I feel like with some authors you get, it's very, very normal, and then all of a sudden you get this like spike of like giant words, or like their editor was like, you sound like a child, oh no, and then they were like, quick, find the dictionary, and they like change a bunch of normal words into something a thesaurus would tell you, you know what I mean? So, moving on. The newest fictional crush is the next prompt, and honestly, Carden from the Folk of the Air trilogy, because he is baby, and I love him. That is all. The next prompt is your newest favorite character, and honestly, Alex Claremont Diaz from Red, White, and Royal Blue, because he is also baby, and I super enjoyed reading like everything from his point of view. It was so cute. He's just very witty, and like, also, I feel you, dude. Like, he's trying to like discover himself and like be an adult, and it's super hard, and like, I'm with you, friend. It's hard to be an adult. Moving on. A book that made you cry is the next prompt, and honestly, like, you know. You know. Yep. If you watch that vlog, you know. And then the next prompt is a book that made you happy, and there's actually 2 books for this. And the first one is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. I really loved this book, and in the beginning I wasn't really sure what was happening or if I was gonna like it. I kind of was like, oh, maybe it'll be a 3-star. Surprise, it was a 5. So this is the first book in the Remnant Chronicles. I feel like this book came out in like 2015 or something. Where does it say? Hold on, momentary pause. 2014. So this book came out ages ago, so I feel like a lot of people know the summary, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. And if you want to skip it, just go to where this isn't in my hand anymore. So it is about a princess who is set to marry a guy she's never met, a prince, and she ends up running away with her best friend, and which is also another girl. And they run away to a different part of the kingdom, and then there are 2 men that kind of like show up in her new life where she's trying to start over. And one of them is an assassin sent to kill her, and one of them is the prince she was meant to marry, but she doesn't know. And throughout this whole book, you don't know which is which, like which man is which, until the very end. And I'm waiting for the second one to come. Okay, moving on. The other book that is in that made me happy category is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I read this book in, I'm not joking, a singular day while I was working the outside bar at my work. And this book is super cute. Like I said, it was really, like I kind of mentioned with that one, this came out a minute ago and it was really hyped up, so I feel like a lot of people know the kind of summary. But again, if you don't want to hear it, skip forward till this is gone. So it is about Olive and her twin is like very type A. So it's about Olive, the main character, and she has a twin who's getting married, and then at the wedding, the whole bridal party, the whole wedding, except for herself and one other person, which is the best man, get this horrible, awful food poisoning. And so because Olive looks like her twin, obviously, so she takes Amy's ID and everything, and her and this best man go on the honeymoon, except they hate each other. So they're stuck in Hawaii for like 2 weeks with each other, and they kind of make a pact that they'll just kind of ignore each other when they get there, and then they end up, you know, it's really hard not to fall in love in Maui. It's so beautiful there. So I really thought that was a cute book. I liked it a lot. It was very fluffy and adorable, and I dug it. I dug it a lot. The next prompt is the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. And again, I'm sorry. This is the most beautiful book I have received, because look at the artwork inside. It's just so pretty. So, yep. I'm not sorry, but I'm a little bit sorry because that is the 4th prompt I think I've used that book for. And then the last prompt is a book that you need to finish, or a book you need to read by the end of the year, and that is Scythe by Neil Shusterman, because I still haven't started this book. Yes. That is all. thank you for hanging out with me during this tag. Let me know down below your answers for these prompts, because I just feel that I want to know. I'm curious, especially about your best book and your most disappointing book. I really am curious about those two prompts, because my TBR is ever growing, obviously, but I'm really nosy. I like to know what other people are reading. So I know a lot of people on my Twitter that I follow were talking about Children of Blood and Bone being like their best book of the year so far, but I haven't read that one. So let me know, like I said, down below what your favorite is, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. If you want to hang out with me anywhere else on social media, it is all in the description box. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.